Mike was muted. Sorry about that. Hey everyone, welcome to Camppatton Family Compounds. It is the Friday night on the Homestead here, and tonight's topic is honoring all who served. How's everybody doing out there? Let me switch up here to the comments. I'm not sure how many here are. I think I see one or two in here that are Shed Wars. We are not talking Shed Wars at all tonight. I'll say I was over there watching it. We're not talking it. We're here. We're going to honor our veterans and some of the other things that the veterans died for and served for and did everything they could for. All right, so what we got here? First one in, Evil Twin, saying thank you all members who served. Alicia came in next, then Prepping to Endure, then Krubby the Beagle, and they're chit-chatting. And then Barry came in, Storms, Radios, and Cats. And everyone's talking. Nate Mitch, how you doing? And on down. Just trying to keep everything set. Laura Hedgehog's Homestead is here. And yeah, all right, everyone doing a lot of chat there. We got 8 people in here. So we got some people that are lurking. Lurkers are fine. No problem with lurkers. If you could at least hit the thumbs up and at least say, hey, I'm lurking, or I'm driving, or I'm working, whatever, just so we know who you are, and so we can say thank you to you. All right. Okay. Laura, you still don't have access to the Facebook, do you? So hang on a second here. Let me go ahead and fire this out real quick here to Laura. There we go. I forgot there's some of them I have to email to, and including Bob. There we go. Okay. So I may get some other supporters up in here. Hey, Denise, Green Granny too. All right. So, yeah, I have my own special reasons for supporting. For being thankful on Veterans Day. I did not get it. I was going to go in. Things were working on it. My mom came down with lymphoma cancer, and I dropped out of college and to take care of her while my dad tried working, and so I didn't go in. But I had an aunt and an uncle, my dad's brother and sister. One was a Marine. She referred to herself as a BAM, a broad-ass Marine. And my Uncle Bill, he was in the Army stationed in Germany during the police action in Korea. And so, but I did marry a staff sergeant in the United States Army, 91st Division. And so I didn't serve in the military branches of our federal government, but I did serve in federal law enforcement as a federal agent. But that is nothing compared to what the guys in the military do, traveling all over the world, moving from here to there, this base to that base, this boat to that boat, whatever it is. The military has my highest respect. Our youngest son tried to get in. It was at the time when even the National Guard wasn't even accepting people. They're being very stringent, and the doctor goes, "Oh, you got scoliosis. Your back spine's like that." And we went to an orthopedic surgeon. He goes, "No, your back's perfectly fine." And he went back, told him, "Here's a report from two orthopedic surgeons. My back's fine." screw you, I'm not coming into a lying organization. It was California National Guard, and so they can't say, yeah, we're just not accepting people. They were making up excuses to kick people out, which is not right. If someone wants to serve, they should be allowed to serve. All right. Alicia says, grandfather was in the Second World War. Cousin was in Iraq. Both gone. Sorry to hear that, Alicia. Of my nieces and nephews, there were several that were in the Navy, one in the Air Force, a couple in the Marines, a couple in the Army. But so Navy, Air Force, Marines, Army. Nobody was in the Coast Guard. So we haven't had anybody in the Coast Guard. And I get all these jokes from all my nieces and nephews and stuff, inner branch jokes. And some of them are downright hilarious. But today's not the day for them, other than the fact that, I just want to point this out, is that all the military people I know agree. They can tell jokes on each other all they want. Nobody else is allowed to do it unless you served. Because if someone starts picking on a non-military person starts picking on a military person, all the other branches come to aid him. Yeah. Yeah, my dad was told he was 4F when he tried to enlist because his right leg was 2.5 inches shorter than his left leg. And they told him there's no way he could do the stuff in the Army. At the time, my dad was in the top 10 nationals for all around cowboy. You ever try riding a bull and like a Brahma bull? Get off, get on a horse, and do calf roping. Get off, get on a bronc, ride the bronc. Yeah. But Station Airborne, Fort Bragg, proud of him. Yeah, I got a brother outlaw. My brother's wife's brother, Danny, who's the same age I am, was airborne. And he's always posting stuff on Facebook from his old unit and stuff. Yeah. Hey, our treasure home. How's it going? So Laura, I sent you should have in your email the link if you want to come up. Barry, the link is in both the mod group and Courtney's chat group. So yeah, I will not be putting the link out. Here's she is, Corky, aka Courtney.
It wasn't a butthole, so we're good. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm so sorry.
Oh, the thing is, all right, I learned how to take care of that. I found a video on YouTube, a guy that does a lot of live streaming and stuff. He goes, and it was a year old. He goes, hey, and so YouTube has changed the parameters around a little bit, but it worked. And it's easy. Hey, brother Donnie, prep for eternity, Homestead. But it's easy to do. If anybody does a live and afterwards they want to say, oh man, I want to cut the ending or I want to cut the beginning, there's an easy way of doing it. And let me show you here. Let me see. I'm going to take this one here over here. I'm going to do this as just to show everybody real quick how you can do it. All right, so you go to your studio, go to live, edit. This is one. The other way is I think you can get in this way. That's the one I don't want to edit the one we're doing now. So this one here, and you go down here where it says editor. Once you're back in YouTube Studio, under edit mode, you go to editor, you click on editor, and there it is.
Yeah. I have to do that a lot when they say I use copyrighted music. So then I will use YouTube's music to override it.
Well, on this, what you can do is you just go and pick a spot and do a trim and cut. And so let's see if I can get it to so new cut, and it gives you an area there, and you just however big you want to cut and trim, you put it in there, and then you can give it the OK, the cut, and then you save changes. And it's that simple, but it takes a while for it to do it. So I'm just going to go ahead and back out of there so I don't ruin that one.
My title tonight for my show, my title tonight for my show was "Porn, Buttholes, and Bots. What is YouTube doing?" ?
For those that don't know what's going on, last night on Gray Man Prepping, I put the link in the chat for a little bit. I didn't pull it down right away. And we had some, they weren't trolls, they were ogres in there, and trying to pretend to be other people and stuff. And or they came in, the one was I never heard the name before. Well, the one I kind of recognized the name, but it didn't sit right. And he was showing him playing a guitar there, and said, "Well, I didn't bring anybody up playing music." I have a feeling that was a video clip he was showing, getting ready to do something else. But and then both those disappeared, and then someone popped up there. They had gone in and copied Tibor's icon and created and changed their channel name to match his and stuff. And they showed some nasty stuff as soon as they popped up there. I should have said, "Hey, Tibor," I should have said, "Tibor, show me your face first."
Yeah, because Tibor never gets up. Like, I've never seen Tibor ever.
Yeah. But Tibor and I had a sort of offline conversation on one of my other videos, commenting back and forth. I told him, if you ever want to come up, you know where my email is. I've talked about it plenty of times. It's at the bottom of everything. Email me and ask for the link, and I'll email you the link. And so
I'm just glad that nothing major happened to your channel and everything's okay and all of that, because usually when they do that, they have somebody in the chat that instantly reports it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people are just psycho. Like,
So it was anywho, and let me put this back over here where it belongs in the right spot. There we go. Today is a day to remember those who served, and it now has another twofold meaning for me. One, importantly, my oldest son was born today in 1996.
Wow.
Now, the other important thing will stand out now. I usually don't remember people's deaths, but I will remember Gallagher's death because he died today. And for those of you who wonder which Gallagher I'm talking about the one at the end of his community show would say, "Ladies and gentlemen, I did not come here tonight just to make you laugh. I came here to sell you something, and I want you to pay particular attention. The Amazing Master Tool Company, a subsidiary of Fly By Night Industries, has entrusted me to show you the handiest. And don't you want to know how it works? Well, first of all, you get an apple, and you place it between two patented pans. Then you reach for the tool that is not a slicer, not a dicer, not a chopper, not in a hopper. What the hell could it possibly be? It's the Sludge-O-Matic!"
I remember watching him when I was a kid. I was like, this guy is crazy.
Oh, yeah. Gallagher was just and then the way he would do the play on words in the English language is, why is it we drive on a parkway and park in a driveway? things like that. And then with his long curly hair, he'd be going, da-di-da. And it was I mean just totally hilarious, some of the things he did. And then when he talked about his kids, Daddy, why is, and come up with a question, and it's just like, why is it that way?
Kids can do that, man, because they come up with the weirdest questions. How's everybody doing?
Good.
All right.
Good.
Prepping to endure. I actually liked it when he made the tossed salad with sour cream.
Yeah.
He took the lettuce, he took the tomatoes, and sour cream, and dumped a bunch of it on top, put the pan on it, and it flew.
Watermelon.
Oh, no. Carlin was the one with. Carlin actually had more live, broadcast shows than Gallagher, but Carlin covered other stuff. Carlin never did the. He might have done some of the stupid stuff. Why we do stuff too, different things. But I never watched Carlin too much because he was just a little too raunchy for me.
Gallagher's live in Vegas now. I mean,
he died today.
Did he?
Today, that's why we're talking. Today, that's why we're talking about him.
Oh.
Yep. He. Hang on. Let's flip back here to it, and it said he was 76 years old. And where does it say here on the death?
He was
here?
76 years old.
Yes, he was 76 years old. Okay, he had several heart attacks starting in 2011. He had 2 coronary stents, and through 2011, 2012, and he was doing better. He died on November 11th after suffering multiple organ failures in a hospice care in Palm Springs.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was that old. Is that why his face was all tucked all weird?
No, I think that was something else. But yeah.
He had some weird things going on. Just saying. The fake muscles and the things and the things.
All the stuff he'd wear, all that stuff. Oh yeah.
He was like morphing into a clown on steroids.
Yeah, he keep walking out in that one bodysuit, Yeah. Now, Laura and I share a unique particularity with our spouses. They're both named Chris.
Yes, they were
both in the Army.
And they're both
accountants. But my wife does not know how. My wife is not a truck driver. That was my thing. And so, but my one nephew-in-law married my niece. Got a 2-year break from the Air Force Academy to go on a church mission. Came back, completed. Started to get assigned to a place and was said, no, we're changing your assignment. You're staying here at the academy teaching Spanish. His mission was to a Spanish-speaking country, and he was very fluent in Spanish then. So they said, no, you're going to stay here for 2 years, and you're going to teach Spanish at the academy. My brother's adopted son, Jamal, went into the Marines. Jamal had been a Eagle Scout and some other things. It was offered scholarships for football, but wanted to go in the Marines. In boot camp, he made a mistake. They said, "Oh, you were a an Eagle Scout. We want to make you a squad leader. And he goes, I don't think I can do that. And they, so you know how the military gets when you say no. Yeah. But he wound up in doing basically the same thing that Skinner did with the artillery.
Oh.
But in the Marines.
Where is Skinner tonight?
I don't know. I didn't see him over on he didn't do just Shed Wars, did he?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm not sure where he is tonight. Well, Nate, my nephew at the time when I got married, here comes Barry. My nephew.
Barry.
Hi.
You're gonna love my nephew's name. His name is John Smith.
Oh.
It's
How
John,
creative.
It's John Allen Smith. His father is John Donald Smith. You see the legacy in that family? They're all John Smiths.
So was
he went into the Navy as a tar. And he was a tar for 22 years. A tar is a temporary active duty reserve. He was active duty the entire 22 time as a reserve. He was a mechanic on F-14s and later on F-18s.
That's what I wanted to do. I was going to do avionics, and they said, your medical is not up to par. Sorry.
That's what I wanted to do, but I suck at math. They're like, oh, well, computers will do it all for you. And then I'm like, I talked to Bob now, and I'm like, so glad I never did that because I would have got started in it.
Yeah.
Because, they will do anything to try and convince you to go to their school.
Yeah.
Computers, they'll just do, it's all plug-in now. You just plug it in, and they run the computers run the diagnostics, and yeah.
But when Bob was doing it, they were all IBMs probably, and clunky as hell.
And punch cards.
Punch cards.
Yeah, you put the punch card in. Well, who creates the punch card?
I did think it was super cool because when I was in high school, that's when drones were like the thing.
Yeah.
So it would have been more than just airplanes. You'd been working on drones and all that kind of stuff too, which I thought was
okay. Hey, where to begin?
Yeah. Now the drones do most of the work.
Except drones doing most of the work. You ought to see
the battlefield
where the operators are at.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys. I mean, it's like you walk in. It's like you're walking onto the starship. I mean, and he's got all these. They're in there. All the controls.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's guys behind the drones, but what I'm saying is, just.
But still, even with the drones doing a lot of the the spy planes and that type stuff and all that stuff. But hey, when it comes down to the nitty gritty, it's a live person out there flying that plane because he can see things that the drone can't see. The guy on the cockpit can't see. Even the drone had cameras all over it, wouldn't be able to see everything the same. And there's a different feeling for feeling what the aircraft is doing. Why isn't this drone flying correctly? Yeah. But
yeah, that's what I wanted to do anyway, but I never quite. I went into radio and stuff.
I think radio's my bag.
Hey, Steve, thank you for your service, sir. Thank you for both your services as a Marine, as a federal officer. Yeah, when I in high school, I took the BAT test, the battery aptitude test for the military.
Mm-hmm.
And about 6 months before that, my cousin, my dad's sister's son, had given me his technical manual from the Army. And so I've been reading that thing, man, it's, and I just figured out some things in there, but I'd read through it several times trying to make sense out of it because it didn't quite make sense to me. And when I got in there, I aced the battery aptitude test because, I remember that from the book. And I knew what to answer, for diodes and transistors. And I just, things just clicked and I aced it. I was up in Fredonia, Arizona, at the north edge of the state of Arizona. And the guys were coming from Phoenix up there every other weekend to try to get me to sign early enlistment papers. The Marines had things. I wanted to go into the Marines. So I wanted to be an aviator. They had stuff for the Marines for aviation. The Navy had all the paperwork for aviation. The Air Force had aviation. The Army wanted to make me a tank commander. No. My dad was down in Indio, California when our 18th cousin, General George, was down there with his tank school. And I heard some of the stories my dad told me about those guys out there. He goes, no. But I was trying to, my parents would not allow me to sign. They wouldn't sign because I was under 18. And when as soon as we did it, the day after I graduated from high school, we moved from Arizona back to California. And I don't know what they did, but the guys down there locked up my stuff. And so when the guys here in California tried to access my tests and stuff, they got it secured for some reason. And so the guys here couldn't use it to give me what I wanted. Of course, then after about 9 months being here, my mom came down with lymphoma, and I dropped out of college and was taking care of her for the next year and a half. But I'm actually kind of, military people, do not take this wrong. I'm kind of glad that I didn't go in, because I also learned a whole bunch of other things that I might not have learned. I probably definitely would not have learned in the military. And I learned how to butcher cows, how to butcher deer, and
You see what Tibor said there?
How to run the heavy equipment. Never allow my name on your panel. Like I said, Tibor, if you ever want to come up, email me. I'll send the link to you specifically in email.
Corsair trainer, my husband, my son, my brother, my sister, they all say the same thing. They don't like the thank you all the time. It's really, anybody who's truly served just kind of flinches almost.
Yeah.
My brother's like
well,
that.
My thank you comes from the heart, the fact that I wasn't able to serve at the time.
Yeah. Hey, Marshall.
I have the utmost respect for those that serve.
Hello.
And those that, especially that served and took those skills and put it to use in the civilian sector. And then again, afterwards, like Steve, he went into being a federal officer.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's training people proper firearm techniques and everything else like that. He is up here.
Yeah.
In respect for him.
Yeah, my brother was a year younger than me. Jumped out of planes with a perfect, of a perfectly good plane, and they had the radio pack on him. It took us a while for us to figure out that, if he had to go to war, he'd be the first they would target.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of didn't sit well with our family.
They kind of go like, where's that antenna? All right, fire over there.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you take out their communications, you cripple a team. So.
Yeah.
Of course, nowadays, you can't tell who has the communications equipment because some of it's getting down so small. Mm-hmm. Compact and stuff.
Yeah.
My son was a.
Yeah, Steve, I saw your little short video of you. Dang it, having fun making targets.
Oh, that's fun. My son was a cavalry scout, and Yeah, seen some stuff.
Yeah.
Went to Afghanistan and saw. He's not the same guy. Let's just say that. That's all
I'm
it is.
going to have to talk to my nephew and find out exactly what, Look, I know he was in artillery in the Marines. I'll find out a little bit more which particular guns he was, firing off there and stuff.
Alicia, I appreciate it, but I mean, he saw very little combat, and he came out with. Well, I'm going to brag on him. He's highly decorated, so yeah, I'm proud of him, and I'm glad he's still here because it could have turned out different. And this was during the time that the Gulf War was going on, so
Yep.
could have been a lot worse. Yeah.
My one cousin, who's 10 years old, 11 years older than I am, Jay, he went to Nam. He was a dog handler. He had not that much of exciting tour over there until till 1 week before he was to come home. He and his best friend were on patrol, and his best friend said, "I'm taking point with it," and went out with his dog in front and stepped on a mine right in front of him. And when Jay came back, I mean, the letters, Jay was always upbeat in his letters, and then it was like the last letter he sent before he came home was just, oh crap.
Right.
Tibor, where are you? Because we're having the same thing here. Snow in the morning.
Well, he's in Ohio.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have rain and then snow in the morning, but I think it may only snow for a couple hours, so I don't.
So I'm assuming it rained nonstop down there, Laura.
Huh?
I'm assuming it rained nonstop down there today.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
It rained until like 10 o'clock and then it stopped.
Oh, it was nonstop today. But I'm glad to see it because, as I said a few days ago, we were in a drought and we were under a burn ban, things like that. So, still not enough.
Yeah.
A lot of the creeks, a lot of the side.
Hey, zombie prepper.
Stuff are still a little bit dry, so we need just
And zombie.
bit more rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, zombie.
How you doing, Chris? Yeah, it's the same thing here. It's like so dry that we need all the rain we can get right now. So, except people have to try to, I don't want it to get to our hard pan too bad because our road's not done really well yet.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so it's like I need the workers to get to the destination.
Yeah.
So we had
Welcome back, Courtney.
to get another new plumber.
Welcome back.
Thanks. I had to plug my phone in, and I didn't have an outlet anywhere, and I didn't have a plug anywhere.
Courtney,
I just plugged mine into the laptop. Or this radio. I've got a radio up here. See,
If I do that, everything pops up on my computer, and I didn't want to do that right now with
I
everything
have
else.
a bunch of these around, and these have the built-in 15 amp breaker in them. I got two in this room here, one in the my wife's office, two out in the shop. Yeah, so I love these things.
I have one in here, but it's filled up.
this desk that my stuff is sitting on actually has a USB port on
I got
the side.
4 in here. I got another spare sitting back there, but I got 2 back here for the computers.
I have it's a Belkin, and I actually like it. It's great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Oh,
it has
Belkin's
my
great.
TV, has my TV, my printer, and everything else plugged into it.
Yeah.
These old houses didn't have the outlets.
Oh no.
Yeah. And the new houses don't either. You got to ask for them.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're having a new house built, you have to ask for extra outlets.
Wow.
When I
Yeah, that's
remodeled-
so convenient, especially if you have a vacuum.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. When I remodeled the house in California, when I redid the master bedroom, every wall has 2 outlets on it.
Yeah.
And then the master bath has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outlets in the master bath. The master bath here has 1 outlet in it.
Yeah. Well, you really only need 1 outlet in a bathroom, but it better have 2 plugs in it for a curling iron or blow dryer.
An electric razor, and
my husband and I are going to have separate sinks for that reason.
Yeah.
He doesn't like all the lady stuff on the sink area.
And we even
rather than have man stuff on the sink.
I'd
I'd rather have lady stuff on the sink than a man stuff.
Yes.
We even put an outlet over by the shower up high, because we put a shelf in the shower for the water pick.
Yeah.
Because the water pick sprays everywhere. And if you're in the shower, you might as well use the water pick while you're in the shower.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Keith. How's it going?
Our house that we sold. Hi, Keith. Our house
Keith Crunk, y'all.
that we sold had so many outlets because the lady had to have a TV in every room, and she left them in there when we moved in. So we're like, okay, we got to take that. I don't need a TV by my bathtub.
I just rather not. Like, I don't want a TV everywhere I go in my house.
Yes.
She wanted to make sure she wanted to make sure she didn't miss anything of the soap operas.
Yeah. I guess so. Because that house was built in the 90s, so it's like, cable in every room and this and that in every room. And then I had the
one of the things I learned when I rewired my house, actually I learned it and did it in my house when I was helping my brother build his house. The plugs in the room are on a different breaker than the lights.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. Yeah.
Because if you plug something in, it flips the breaker and kills the light too, or something, or you damage that plug, or a kid damage that plug, and you got to replace it. And you can't turn on the light because it's on the same breaker. It sucks.
Yeah.
The wall behind me from here to the kitchen has just mysteriously quit working, so I've cut it.
This house is super scary. Like, everything is on 1 breaker. So when you turn it off, the entire house goes.
Yeah. Is it one of those bulb ones like in the old days?
Thank God. Yeah. No. I don't know what they were planning or doing, but my husband tried to put a ceiling fan in here, and he's like, he's downstairs last while. He's like, "Did the lights go out yet?" I'm like, "No." "Did the lights go out yet?" "No." And then he hits the one. He's like, "Did they go out now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, every light on in the house just went out."
Wow.
Yeah.
So your house needs to be rewired.
Big time.
All right, Steve. Thank you for coming in here.
Bye, Steve. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. I mean, my opinion on for wiring for houses, all your plugs should be 20 amp. Your lights only need to be 15 amps, especially nowadays when you have LED lights and stuff.
Yeah.
At one point they used to make a 7.5 amp breaker. That's all you would need if you got LED lights. That's all you need for the entire friggin' house.
I heard that.
LG just popped into my chat on my live, and she's like, "Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming in." And then she's like, "Is she trying to make it juicier?" Because of the title.
She was there last night.
Was she?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was talking to my husband about that. I'm like, I felt totally slimed. I was so grossed out. That was gross.
Well, yeah.
I couldn't believe that. I was just like.
That's the reaction they want.
Courtney, I did a video about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, about what I did to the kitchen across the street. Basically, what I did is because we're still planning to get it out. All right, so this is temporary. I ran a 3/4 inch PVC conduit, electrical conduit up, and around underneath all the cabinets, and I put receptacle boxes in. So they're on the surface and they're there. I wired it so this one's on its own breaker, that one's on its own breaker, that one's on its own breaker, and that one's on its own breaker. That way my daughter can do the crock pot, the Instapot, the toaster, the microwave, and not trip a breaker.
I've tripped breakers in the kitchen before, like the microwave was on, and then I turned on the fan.
Mm-hmm.
All bad. Like
we're going to put even outlets in the pantry.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
You can make a special spot in the pantry for a dehydrator.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're building a house like Laura is, it's like, okay, I want the microwave. I want this on this counter here. I want this plug and this plug to be separate, individual 20 amp breakers in case I move the microwave from here to here. I want these to be so you can wind up a good kitchen nowadays will have like 4 or 5 breakers just for the kitchen, because you want any refrigerator on its own 15 amp breaker, nothing else on that plug. I mean, that plug is the only thing on that breaker.
Be right back.
Okay.
He's got to poop.
Hey, Thorhaven. How's it going?
Thorhaven.
Thor. What's up, Thor? I guess I could wear my bunny or my kitty cat ears tonight.
Yeah.
I was telling my husband, I said, I couldn't just after what happened last night on your thing, I couldn't edit and go back. I would just delete it.
I would have just deleted it too.
It was
no way I'm going to go back.
It was actually less than 15 seconds that it was up.
You said you had to view it 6 times.
Yeah, because I kept realizing it said, the thing I thought, all right, delete this. I thought it was saying delete this section. It was delete what I'd clip, the clipping marks. And I did, so I finally get, okay. So I just go ahead, hit the okay, and then hit save. So I had to line up on it just the second that his face was, the icon was just starting to pop up. I saw just before that, and when I made myself big to hide it.
Yeah.
But
no, I didn't have to poop. Actually, the stove is running me out of this room.
Did you have to open the front door?
Yes, I did.
I'd rather have something run me out of a room so I can open a window than not have enough.
Yeah. Well,
Thor likes your ears, Courtney.
Yes.
I have to heat 5 rooms, so it's actually not that many because 2 rooms are actually closed off. So
yeah.
No, I got to tell a story about my wife, not on her, what she did to somebody else. It's hilarious. Her, what? She was down to take. She was doing a lot of she did most of the admin and paperwork for the unit. And one of the guys, after we got engaged and stuff, and as soon as we got married, she had me come down so I could get a spousal card so I could get on base. And she's, I was, 155 pounds, skinny guy. And I wore baggy clothes, so it looked like I was really wimpy. But at the time, I could do one-handed push-ups and everything else. I mean, it's just the way I was built. But one of the others drill sergeants just started going, "Oh man, she sure picked the winky," just started putting me down, and she could overhear it inside the office, and all of a sudden you heard a yell that everyone in the entire outside area heard. "Sergeant Denny, did you say you wanted to get a sex change?" Immediately, "No, Sergeant Campbell! I'm sorry, Sergeant Campbell! I apologize, Sergeant Campbell! Please don't do that, Sergeant Campbell!"
Screwed up.
That's funny.
Oh man, this guy was acting so tough until she said that. Also, it's like I just shrunk 6 sizes, you know.
And he froze like that.
And he froze like that.
If you keep making that face, it's gonna
That was
freeze
so
like.
funny that you froze like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you froze like.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some fun stuff. My nephew, who's the one that was in the Navy, is a tar. You know, when he was stationed at Lemoore Naval Air Station there in California, he said it's really interesting. You have these techies that work on it and everything else. You have the pilots, and you have the squadron leader and everything else. They have if they have certain compartments of the aircraft opened up, and anybody else that's not a techie comes around, they have to close it down. And they go, "Sorry, sir, you don't have the security clearance to see what's inside here. You can fly it, but you can't see how it operates."
Wow.
Yeah. And so I'm like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, I even did it to a colonel." Closed it down because they had some Marines over there. They were doing it, and he was working on a Marines F-18 because their guy didn't know how to fix the part. And he went over there. "Sorry, sir. I can teach your guy how to do it because he's got the clearance, but you don't have the clearance to see what's in there."
Wow.
Then he goes, "That's okay." He goes, "I know. I'm glad you shut it down." And he walked on. You know, that was a guy that knew what he was supposed to do, and he did that to a couple others in the Navy too. That way, somebody just, "Sorry, sir, I know it's your plane, but you can't see what's inside of it."
Yeah, you can't see the bubble gum and baling wire holding things together.
Oh, what did John say? Oh,
You don't have your phone by you, Courtney, do you?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Why? What's up?
I was asking you a question, but I can't say it out loud. So it's
Okay. Well,
private chat. Private chat.
Hold on, I can get it.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It can wait. It's not like a thing.
Yeah.
It's just a silly question, but it's a personal one.
Okay.
My nephew told me the funniest thing about he was talking about the Navy aircraft designed by people with PhDs, built by people with college degrees, flown by it was designed by people with PhDs, flown by people with college degrees, built by people with high school diplomas, maintained by people with GEDs.
Yeah.
He had his high school diploma, and he had a couple of classes under his belt for college. But he goes, most of the techs had GEDs.
Yeah. It's because people learn in different ways, and so
yeah.
You know, you could have someone who has a GED who's smarter than a person that has a PhD.
Yeah.
It's just because the person with a PhD could write a good
thesis
paper and
Yeah.
It's like my dad. He did not get his high school diploma until after I was born.
Yeah.
He had to go back to night school to get it.
Yeah.
My dad went straight into the Army in high school and never graduated from high school. And then my dad was really successful. You know, he had his own business and
see you later, Thor.
Was in the Union and
Bye,
retired successfully, and he didn't have a high school diploma. So
yeah. A lot of people make a lot of money and never go to school. I never go to, beyond high school.
Yeah.
So they just got that drive,
Yeah.
It takes that. Some people drop out of school just to start things,
Yeah. Yeah, my brother, the summer between his junior and senior year, he started a landscaping company.
Right.
Hired a bunch of the kids from church and from high school he knew. Through his senior year, most of the Saturdays and Sundays, he had jobs going on for these guys and stuff. And so he graduated from high school, got married 2 weeks later, bought a house, and within a year, the house was paid for.
Jeez.
Nice.
Of course, he slid right into. He found this house, was able to assume a VA. A guy had a VA loan, but he got some sort of assuming to get it converted to a FHA loan or whatever, because he wasn't in the military, but he was able to get it assumed and converted, and the price was down rock bottom. I mean, the guy was just getting rid of it to get out of the area, and he picked it up really cheap, and never, and the thing is, so I think he had a little bit of a grudge against his wife, though. He was planning on going into the Air Force until she got pregnant.
Right.
Before they were married.
It's like us. We owe money on our land, but I mean, our goal is to pay that puppy off as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So
right now, what my wife is doing, I love her. She's such an amazing, smart person. The house in California was paid for before my daughter graduated from high school. It's paid for. The house across the street here has less than 50,000 on it now.
Wow.
And I think it may be down. It may be like less than 40. This one here is the big one. But like my wife says, if worst comes to worst, if we sell California, we pay this one off and buy a couple others as rental income up here.
You really want to be a landlord?
he's got the skills, but
I know he's got the skills, but
he got the skills.
Well, the areas that you're running out in, I doubt that you will have renters like bad ones.
Well, I took my mom had several rental properties, and I did all the dirty work for her. You know, evictions and stuff. Of course, at the time,
I've seen rental
I would show up in a sheriff's uniform.
Yeah,
and it'd be like,
where I used to live, there was rental properties that were just completely destroyed.
Oh,
I mean, they would take everything.
Yeah,
they would take the refrigerator, the stove, everything.
Well, her rental properties had no refrigerator, no stove. They were the bare bones house. You had to bring all your own
furniture. In California, you can do that. Not in other states. Some other states you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't do it here either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting though. In California, I mean, you don't have to have a fridge. You don't have to have hardly anything in there.
Yeah. Because I guess in California, most people bring their refrigerators and stuff with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen mine. Actually, I lived in a house, but I bought the house, but the people all around me rented. When the neighbors left, they took the stove and the refrigerator. That wasn't theirs. It's just like they took everything.
When I moved here,
I forgot something to show something here. Hang on. I had more slides. Another one. So reminding people that yes, Coast Guard in times of war is part of the military.
Yep.
And let's not forget the ones who we don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And there are some really, really cool videos at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier of the change out and stuff.
Yeah,
the thing is, it's Veterans Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so some soldiers get upset about that because it's their time, not the past. But
yeah,
just putting that.
I feel weird about that because I never know. I don't ever want to insult anybody. So I feel weird. Like I don't want to say thank you. I don't, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, sometimes I just don't say anything at all.
Around here, nobody says it because, and I mean, but everybody, like Veterans Day is highly celebrated because, I mean, everybody's got a free lunch, a free haircut, a free everything here today.
Yeah.
You know, so, but yeah, yeah. And I think because I think the thing that we need to remember is just because they came back, it doesn't mean that all of them came back.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's just.
Some don't want to hear thank you because they came back with a lot of scars they'll never be able to.
Yeah.
A lot of them, like my brother, has the guilt that he came back and the guy that was sitting next to him in the Hummer didn't.
Yeah.
You know, and so he's like, please don't say thank you. I should have saved the guy in the Hummer next to me.
That's not his fault.
I know.
You can't.
It's survivor's guilt.
I know,
It's
but still, at the same time, you can't help that.
Right.
What were you going to do?
Right.
There's nothing.
The bomb went off on
I
his
was
side of
trained
the
to do that. It's their mentality. I was trained. I should have done it.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like I should have saw the bomb. I should have, you know.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I understand the concept behind it, and I understand that, but at the same time, it was not their fault. I mean, you can't go your entire life feeling horrible about that. It wasn't your fault.
Right.
You know?
My pop out chat just disappeared.
Oh.
It's freaky.
But yeah, I always feel
Top
weird
chat?
with the subject because I don't want to insult anybody.
Right.
Okay. I had to open the YouTube and get the pop out chat. I don't know. It just popped off the screen. It was gone. I was like, you didn't touch anything.
Yeah.
Thank you, YouTube, for all your glitches.
I think that's why a lot of guys like to stay in military towns, is because those people know, you know, and they're surrounded by people that know.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yeah, you guys are pretty close to Fort Campbell.
Yeah. And like literally where I live right now, because it's half rentals, half owners, and it's like every morning you can see the uniforms go in and out of the houses, you know, and at night too. You know, it's like surrounded by military folk. So.
Oh, okay, Courtney, you're going live now, aren't you?
Oh shit! Yeah.
Okay.
We better
Hi,
get
Courtney.
All right,
So
so
I didn't mean to bring it down, but I just thought I'd.
all good.
Yeah.
All the links have been sent out. I won't be putting a link in the chat. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay, let me throw it up here, or I had it up here. Let me
Don't throw it up.
The link again for Courtney.
We've had enough weirdness on this channel. Don't throw anything up.
That was the other channel. There it is. Okay.
Poor Tibor. I felt bad for him too. It's like.
I know it's still bothering him too.
Yeah, I know it is.
I mean, I totally understand that.
We know you better than that, Tibor. I was
Yeah.
telling my husband about it, and he's like, that guy's
Yeah,
better
nobody's mad at you, T-Board. Nobody.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they did not make any comments in the side chat. If they had made a comment and I could connect the two, then I could have called my partners back there, and they could have done the trace back on it easier. But it's the fact that it was just a blip, and you know it's going to be too hard for them to try to trace it. But I was saying, if they had made a comment first, and
well, they won't do that because they know it can be traced.
Right.
Yeah. It would have been easy. I would have said, all right, I want to be in on that raid.
You're welcome.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Here.
It would have been, oh, he's resisting arrest. Oh, he got body slammed from the ceiling to the floor.
Oh, how'd that happen?
I don't know how he broke both his legs, both shins and both thighs, and then both, femurs, both shins, femurs.
He must have been clumsy. That's all I could think of.
Yeah, he was cussing and threatening everybody and taking swings at everybody. We had to defend ourselves.
Well, when he ran
him.
when he ran off the balcony of the top stairs because he thought he was running the other way,
He must have been on some drugs. He was just going weird. All right, so there's the link, and I will see everybody over there.
Okay.
Yeah, the bunch are already over there already.
Bye.
And in broadcast.